Joni, you talked yesterday about you guys aren't guarding the basketball real well right now. And you take over a new system, you have a lot of freshmen who aren't good high school defensive players. So is that just going to take more game time experience, you feel, to get the defense where you want it to be?
It will. It's going to take time. And not only just our freshmen, it's a different style of defense that we're asking them to play than what they're used to. And that's just going to take them continuing to learn angles, continuing to work at it every single day. It's better than it was, and it's still not where it needs to be. So it's a process. And so, you go back and you watch the film, and there's moments where we're excellent. You look at the last two possessions, we are excellent defensively, but that's how we need to look the entire game. So it's doing it all the time, being consistent, and just playing with that type of pace and effort all the time.
To follow up on that, Kansas, I think it's 5-star players, 6 points or more, 75. So that's going to really, how do you feel that matchup for your defense that needs to get better?
Yeah, I mean, they have 5 players averaging double figures, and 2 right under that are at 9.6 and 9.4. So they really stretch you offensively. So it's going to be, we talk about owning your yard, guarding your yard, and owning your one-on-one matchup, because it's really hard to bring help, when everybody on the floor is a threat. And what's happening to us right now is we're getting beat off the first dribble. And that's really hard for anybody to rotate to a help situation. You got to be able to take it 2 dribbles one way or the other laterally before somebody can just blow by you. And right now, we're just getting blown by. And so that's why it looks like it's wide open, because I don't care how good you are in help rotation, off of one dribble, it's hard to get there. So we've got to work on our lateral movement, keeping our feet moving. But Kansas is going to really test us. They've got great size on the perimeter and in the post, and they're experienced. They're an experienced team. Did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Joni, what did you learn from your last road trip at Duke that, hopefully, or things that will be different this time around?
Well, our preparation leading into Duke was really poor, and I hope that's better this time. I hope, again, young team, we'd won 2 games, and just preparing on the road is you prepare the same every single time, but you also have to understand when you're going into an environment like Duke, when we're going into an environment like Kansas, which is what we're going to be doing when we leave tomorrow to play on Wednesday. You're down 10 points when you walk through the door, and you've got to have a different type of mentality and sense of urgency about what it is you're doing, and we didn't have that. Hopefully that looks different today as we start preparing for them when we get into the film room. And then it's just, again, it's going to be a great test for us. This is another Autonomy 5, Power 5 school that has got a lot of seniors, has played together well, and is really, really talented. So, it's one of those games, again, that I get excited about, because it's going to show us where we've improved and where we need to continue to get better. And I sound like a broken record, but that's where we're going to be all year long. Every single game we play, it's how are we measuring ourselves versus not our opponent, but honestly where we were the last time we played, because that's what this year is about. It's about being better every single time we step on the floor.
And playing in these environments, like you went to Cameron Indoor, now going to Allen Fieldhouse, just what's that like, playing in these historic?
If you're a basketball player, it's amazing, right? What great opportunity do you have to go out on a campus like that, and in a gym like that, with the tradition and the history, and to be able to play on that type of stage is really, really exciting. I get excited about it. I wish I could still lace them up, and I hope that our players understand, how big of a deal it is.
Coach, what do you hope the learning lesson was yesterday? Obviously, you got off to a hot start in the 3rd quarter,
Yeah.
but then faded down. I know defense probably had something to do with that in the 4th quarter, but you probably play a lot of close games this year.
Yeah, we are.
What do you hope the lesson is from yesterday?
Changes in momentum. You foul a 3-point shooter. She gets 3 chances at a shot, and then maybe a possession or 2 after that, we get an intentional foul. So they get the 2 free throws, and they get the regular shooting foul free throws and the ball back. That changed the momentum. Can't leave 3-point shooters open. Just little things that we talk about all the time. I think there's a lot of great things for us to look at on film in terms of how to win. We don't know how to win, and that's not anybody's fault. That's just where we are. This team is inexperienced, and so teaching them how to win and teaching them what better way than in those possession games to show them on film and talk about things that we can do differently.
I asked the girls about this, but as far as the somewhat short turnaround, is that a good thing for you guys following the loss?
Yeah, it's short, but it's not short. It's short because it's falling on a Wednesday. Today's normally an off day, but not short in the sense of it's normally Thursday, Sunday. So we're used to playing a game, prepping for 2 days, and playing another game, which is what we're doing. It's just in a different day of the week.
Janiah talked earlier about still adjusting to the college game. So in short sample size we've seen from her, what has she adjusted well to, and what areas of her game do you think still need to take a big step forward?
I think she's learning how to keep herself on the floor for longer stretches of time in terms of not getting in foul trouble. That was something that the first couple games, two in particular, really, it was hard for her to get into a rhythm because she was coming in and out. I think she's learning how to play harder. Again, that she raises her hand to come out quicker, and so we need to get her wick longer, but she's learning how to play harder when she's in the game, which is really, really good. I think areas for her is again, and you look at a stat sheet, and you see how she fills it up across the board. She's got to know when to pass the ball and when to shoot it, and there's some times where she's come down, and I get it's a temperature check. She's made a couple plays, but she's searching. She's dribble, and they take it from her, or they trap her, and she misses the next option. So, again, just knowing when to keep it simple, when to pass it and get it back, and when to keep it for herself. And she's getting better in those areas, but that would be where I would say just improving more. And then on rebounds, people are going to double her, just being strong with the basketball.
Since she's so dominant as a freshman, your other freshmen about where you thought they would be? I mean, you see Janiah Barker is so, you see the other freshmen every day. Where are they at?
Sydney Bowles is in a good spot. I think her challenge is to continue to get better defensively. She's really efficient. If you look at her numbers, she's one of our most efficient players in terms of her minutes when she's on the floor. I think it's unfair to say about Maya because she's been injured and she's just now coming back. And so she is typical in terms of a lot of freshmen. It takes time for them to process what it is we're doing and learn the offense, and that's where she is. But I do think that she's someone who down the road is going to be able to help us just because of her ability to score the basketball. She can flat out score the ball. But Sydney is probably a little bit ahead of schedule. And it's gonna, for both of them and for all of them, especially though the minutes that Janiah and Sydney are getting now, getting thrown into the fire. You look a year from now, how much more experienced they're gonna be, and then you look at their junior year, how much more experienced they're gonna be, and that's gonna really, really help them out down the line.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Have a good trip.
Absolutely. Thank